The article I'm sharing with you today is titled, "I'm Just a Woman." This confession has moved countless people to tears. You always complain that I think too much, that my questions are too frequent, and find me annoying. But do you truly understand what I'm thinking? Even if I tremble a little, have some unreasonable demands, it's just me living my life? Actually, what am I hoping to get? Just a little tenderness, a little indulgence. Sometimes just being able to comfort me is enough. I'm just a woman. I also need someone to cherish and love me. I want a reliable shoulder to lean on, yearn for someone to hold me in their hands. But life eventually turned me from a woman into a female warrior. How difficult is a woman's life, really? Full of absurdity, a handful of bitter tears. It's hard to understand the life of a woman who can comprehend its taste. I got married at 25, thinking I was marrying love. After marriage, I became a wife, bid farewell to the days of carefree youth. I began to clean the entire house, learn to do laundry, cook, and prepare meals. Speaking of which, I haven't done these things for my parents a few times. 4 years into marriage, I got pregnant, but household chores still fell on me. During prenatal checkups, he accompanied me a few times, complaining that waiting in line was a waste of time, and later stopped going. In the end, I endured the long 10 months alone. On the day of delivery, I cried out in pain, and when I came out of the delivery room, he hurried over to ask about our son. Only later did he remember to ask about me. How are you doing at that moment? My heart hurt more than giving birth. At 29, it was the most painful year. I became a mother for the first time, but the child had no experience. The child woke up every hour, and I fed him every hour. My mother-in-law made me eat various nutritious foods every day and drink tonic soups. Actually, it was to increase my milk supply, afraid the grandson would go hungry. At 2 a.m., the child cried again. I groggily got up to feed him, and when I turned back, my husband wasn't in bed. He had gone to sleep in the guest room. From the day the child was born, your life is no longer your own. At 32, to take care of the child, I didn't work for 3 years. It was our mutual decision. 3 years without work, the savings from my parents' home were almost gone. I asked my husband to give me some money, and he angrily asked why I needed more money. Didn't I give you money every month? How did you spend it? Can't you save some money if you don't earn any? I was also angry, arguing with him. Do you know how much a can of good formula costs? How much formula does a child need in a month? And how many diapers? I'm just a woman. I'm not as strong as you imagine. I have emotions and desires. I also have times when I feel sad, helpless, and cry bitterly. Actually, I'm not that strong. At 34, when the child started kindergarten and my husband got promoted, life seemed to be getting better. But life always brings surprises. I smelled perfume on my husband's clothes. He was having an affair. Why did he start to despise me? What did I do wrong? Later, we almost divorced, but in the end, we reconciled because everyone advised me that men, they all have their thoughts, you have to endure, and more importantly, the child can't be without a father. So for the sake of the child, I swallowed my pride again. I remembered seeing a video on YouTube once. A wife tells her husband about his affair. She cries and screams at him. I'm telling you, if I didn't have to take care of your parents, didn't have to take care of your child, and could spend all the money on myself, I'd be 10 times prettier than her. I want to give this sentence to all the unfaithful men in the world. At 46, when the child entered high school, every day waking up at 5 a.m. to prepare a hot breakfast for the child so that he could sleep a little more at noon and immediately have a hot meal when he came home. At noon, I prepared lunch just in time to ensure the child didn't oversleep. Every day at noon, I waited for the child to wake up before resting. Even if I was exhausted and freezing, I persisted in waiting for the child. When the child finished evening self-study, I prepared food for him in advance and told him to rest early. Only when the lights in the child's room went out could I finally go to sleep. 365 days a year, every day was like this. At 49, when the child took the college entrance exam, about to leave for university, I hoped he would choose a school closer to home, but the child had his own thoughts. I could only reluctantly help him pack his bags. From then on, I was alone again. At 53, when the child graduated from university and started working, in the blink of an eye, they became adults. After working for 2 or 3 years, the child got married, and they moved into their own home without me. The first half of my life was full of grievances. Now that I'm getting older, I don't want to worry about so much anymore. Let my husband be happy. I don't want to bother about so many things anymore. At 58, when my grandson got into trouble, my son called me, "Mom, can you come and help me take care of the child?" I remembered back then, it seemed like I was the only one taking care of the child at home. No one ever cared for me, but it was my son's request. I couldn't refuse. After all, he's a part of me. At 78, when my grandson also went to university and my hair turned completely white, I couldn't do many things anymore, couldn't go where I wanted to, couldn't eat what I wanted to, couldn't wear what I wanted to. That's how my life passed by. At 80, 90 years old, I lay on the sickbed, surrounded by people crying. I closed my eyes and thought, what did I live for in this life? I knew I was leaving this world soon. My breath was about to stop, my body gradually losing its warmth. Before consciousness disappeared, I only had time to think of one last question. Was this the life I wanted? What's your answer when you see this? I once read something online. A woman spends 20 years at home being a princess, coddled by her parents. On the day of marriage, she becomes the most beautiful queen, living in glory. During pregnancy, she's a precious consort for 10 months, with everyone's care. After the child is born, for the child, for the family, a woman begins a lifetime of being a maid. A woman's life sounds simple, but it's tiring to live, looks ordinary, but feels bitter to experience. Who knows the taste? A woman's life involves playing multiple roles: daughter, wife, mother, always taking care of others, busy for others, but rarely has time for herself. Along the way, can't bear to buy the things she likes, can't go out for a walk, too tired to even say she's tired, because no one understands, can't rest when sick, because there are family members to take care of. A woman works hard her whole life for what? For her family, the efforts a woman puts in for her family, her bitterness and exhaustion, who understands? A woman must learn to treat herself well, live for herself. Don't sacrifice yourself for others. Don't hesitate to eat. Don't hesitate to dress up. Don't hesitate to spend money on yourself. Don't push yourself when tired. Don't endure when sick. Don't suffer in silence when in pain. I'm just a woman, a complete woman, without much ambition. Don't need to be a so-called strong woman. Just hope to be cherished and spoiled in my remaining years. Dedicated to all the good women who work hard for their families. You've worked hard. That's all for today's sharing. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me your feelings. Don't forget to like and share with your friends. Looking forward to meeting you.